gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Who's chasing the beer? The circle the lips, play ball. Play ball.
Mic check, Bob.
Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Okay.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives.
Take off
Live.
Hey.
I am your host, Johnny La Rocchia.
blue.
Co-host tonight. Who's the co-host tonight? Is it Patty or you? Patty.
You
Patty's
gave him
co-host.
social media, so you want to switch it
Oh,
now?
all right. Frank is the co-host. Frank Fayel. Say hello, Frank.
I'm the co-host.
Frank hasn't been here for a few weeks.
No,
Now when he found his way back.
I did.
And
They
we
left
got the big
peanuts.
guy over here, Pat Marone, the chef.
Oh,
Yeah,
chef.
and
Marone.
and I'm a social media guy. Yeah,
And he's social media guy. He's very social.
I'm social.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then our, we'll call him our third wheel today, even though he's on the other side. That's okay.
Very
Right.
unusual being on
That's
this
it.
side.
It's like you're in England now.
It's throwing my
Steve-
game off a little bit.
Oliva is back,
Pleasure to be here.
wearing the Chaz Bono collection, as he would say. Double flannel.
Double flannel.
Double flannel
Double
tonight.
flannel today.
He is serious. Serious. We have on some very, very interesting guests today. We have Laura on from Life Fact. We have Lance Lance
Yeah, it's easy,
Ulinoff.
easy for you.
He's sitting right here, thank God. Lance is very, I've watched him at all the major morning shows. He's done a whole lot of stuff. And when we have real guests like this, we don't do pinata stuff.
Right.
We don't do John Santos segments.
No
all right?
Air Force One.
No Air Force
he was
One.
quiet.
Royal
Is that-
weddings.
is that
ro-
okay?
Royal weddings.
Right.
No,
Royal
no
weddings.
weddings.
No royal weddings.
No, those are fillers.
We don't
got-
talk about hazmat or
No,
anything like
We don't
that.
have the light in our
That's-
face. We don't have the light in our face this week either.
That's right. Oh, he shut the light off. That's good. Let's get this quick because I want to get to our guest. He's turning the light on now.
Well, now we can probably
So
see
Bobby, our producer's turning on the light.
Yeah, oh, that's so much
we
better.
are.
People
We
can tell
are.
it's good.
We went from
How do we
handsome.
look? How do we look now?
We
You
went
look
from
better.
handsome
You
to
look
no
exceptionally
better.
handsome.
You look no better. Frank,
Let's try
Yes.
to act
what did you
professional.
tell me about the friggin' phone? You're not going to look at the phone, you said.
I was
Oh, wait.
trying to share it, but now that you
I didn't
knocked it out
share
of my hand,
I'm sorry, I didn't share
All
it.
right, while these
Tell
mamalooks
us-
are trying to share, we had a great night at the baseball game last night.
Tell our
oh
followers.
yes, the one that you guys didn't invite
Yes,
me to.
hold on. We always should tell our followers, if you're watching and our guests, to share it now to your friends on Facebook.
Sharing is
So
caring.
we get sharing is
Right.
caring. So go ahead, talk about the Met game last night.
Well, it was fun. We went out with Les Deegan, John,
show some
and John
pictures, Bobby.
Santo. And let me tell you, it was a great game up until the 8th inning.
There's Pat. There's the four of us. That's Pat
They
in the
took that
costume.
picture without me because I got there a little later. You know, I had to come
Who's the
from
guy
work.
in the middle with encephalitis?
That's Pat.
No, we had a great time.
We had a good. There we are. That's before Pat got there again. I'm sorry,
Hey, that's
Pat.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that was free because you know we were going to pay for that.
Right.
Did you share it?
Did you pay for it?
No, I didn't.
We got to share it.
Might I ask where the seats were?
The seats were less than bought them. $25.
Chauncey
$326. They were nice. They were fine.
Yeah, I liked them.
They
I
were
liked the
fine.
seats. I liked them.
Santo didn't have his glove with him, which was unusual.
Thank God.
They were, he had his Met hat and his Met coat, and his Met socks, and his Met undies and his Met shoes, but he didn't have his glove.
It was a disappointing game. though.
It was.
Yeah,
It got
yeah.
very cold when the Mets, when they scored 6 runs in the 8th. Washington and 2 more in the 9th. It was fine. The weather was fine
It was horrible.
until the.
Yeah,
But we still had fun. We had a good time.
I remember watching that game going, this is a lock. They're not going to score 7
Well,
runs.
you know
and
what?
they did.
And you know what the manager said today? And
guys-
it's true.
You guys should have came.
I think those relief pitches said 6-1, 8th inning, subconsciously, I'm not getting into this game. Let me put my feet up. They kind of checked out a little physically. They kind of checked out a
Sort
little
of like how
mentally.
Pat
I'm not
attacks
saying
the
it's
show.
right. I'm not saying they're professionals, but I think that's what happened.
No
Then all of a
excuse.
sudden, they start losing 1 pitcher, 2 pitches.
Of course. Half the pitchers are
No excuse.
Latin American guys. They're not used to this,
No
this
excuse.
freezing weather in April.
You're up by 5 runs in the 8th inning. You don't walk people. You throw strikes. They should have left the degrominator in there for another batter.
Pat,
That's it.
have you ever
Yeah, that's
played
what
a
they said.
sport?
Yes, I have. I played baseball.
Bocce doesn't
I
count,
played
Pat.
baseball.
Bocce doesn't count.
I never played bocce.
Bocce and
I played
Corona
a lot
at
of
Spaghetti Park doesn't
Played a lot
count.
of baseball.
A lot of baseball.
Frank, Frank Fiala had an audition the other day. Frank is doing a lot of acting here. He's trying to get into the acting business.
That's why he's here.
Right.
He was a cop.
Right. That's why I'm here, because I didn't get the role.
Every actor
He's
struggles.
acting tonight like a co-host.
Right.
Every actor struggles.
Frank,
Give the guy a
how
break.
did the audition go, my brother?
I thought it went. I thought it went pretty well, but
You were the only one?
I was not. No, I was not. That would have made it even worse.
No, I mean you were the only one that thought it went well.
the only one.
Yes. Apparently, I was the only one that thought it went well because I didn't get the part.
That's okay.
However, I did get a call for a different show. On A&E, a documentary.
Guiding light.
You know what? I would take a
Animal
role
Planet?
on a soap opera. Those
Listen.
are $7,000 a week for a soap opera.
is?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. So I don't give a rat's ass.
Anything else interesting happen in your week?
No, I had a little scare yesterday. I went to the emergency room.
Tell us.
No, because I didn't see it till
He
today.
saved it for the show.
So I I had a heart attack a year ago, and yesterday I was having, I just didn't feel right. It just, couldn't explain it. Even the docs, but I was having some jaw pain. So
Pat's
we
Meatballs?
thought the machine was broken because the blood pressure's reading 220 over 179. I'm like, this is not working.
It's good if you're bowling.
It would be great. So anyway, I go to the emergency room, and everything turned out to be okay. But it was very odd because as I was sitting there, I see in the window, in the glass, what appeared to be my wife's reflection. And I thought that was obviously weird because vampires don't often give off a reflection.
Holy
All right, you'll be
crap.
sleeping in the
she,
shed
um,
tonight.
She's our only follower.
She is.
Sleeping in the shed.
But
Kathy,
no, everything
Sorry,
worked out.
Kathy.
Everything worked out. It was
Kathy,
everything checked out good.
Mrs. Fiala's point of view.
Oh, boy. You're going to really tell us what that fight was about soon, Kathy.
She will.
And, that's
So,
the
wait a minute.
Everything checked out.
Yesterday this was?
This was yes.
So it wasn't Sunday spaghetti sauce.
No,
So
Angina?
no. But the last one, I actually the first night that I had the heart attack a year ago, I had gone out to
we went to
the
Anthony's
coal
Coal
fire
Whoa.
pizza. So in the morning when I woke up, I didn't feel well. I said, maybe this was just.
Is it on now?
I actually knew what was going on. I just denied it
Okay.
for 4
I was
days.
talking when
so,
Well, you see what you're doing here.
What?
We bring a pretty lady into the studio. You're talking to her. The camera's over there. You're talking
All
to
right.
her. I guess.
No, I mean, come on.
Well, we got to remain professional.
well, I apologize. She did it.
I'm mic'd up now, everybody, if you guys
All
care.
right.
She,
So anyway, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. I didn't get the part, but I got another one.
Listen,
good.
that is excellent. Now let's talk about my acting right now.
What do you
enough of
got?
that heart trouble stuff.
you got 30 seconds. Nothing?
I got a call back for an audition on Friday.
Did you really?
Yes, I do.
What
I
is
have
it
to be in the
for?
city.
It was my role.
It's his role.
I got Frank's role.
He was the other guy who tried
I'm the one who gave Frank jaw pain, so he couldn't make the audition. And I got a call back Friday, which means absolutely nothing. I could get 10 callbacks and not get anything. But
Yeah, but
it's
you
something.
got to be in it to win it.
Way to think
You got to be in
positive.
it to
No,
win it.
it's not a matter. No, it's positive thinking's great. Frank and I were talking about that, but the reality of life is just that. It's reality. If you
Keep pounding the pavement.
keep pounding the pavement in anything in life, so they're few and far between for me. So I'm pretty happy about that. My little nephew read the lines off camera. My niece held the camera, and I sent in my little, which is
Oh,
what-
a whole family.
the whole family, and
That's
they
nice.
got
That's
to
very-
see what crazy
that
Uncle
is very
Steven
nice,
goes
touching.
through to try and fill his time in retirement.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know
not
next week what happens.
All right, yeah, we'll be waiting for that.
Yeah, and I'll be waiting for you. Keep making those meatballs, Ace. All right.
Very good. So that was all week in a
Take off
nutshell.
the
We're kind of
material.
keeping it tight tonight.
Stop
Yeah.
ruining my- stop
Some
ruining
big
my-
shows
my
coming
career.
up for the Laughter Saves Lives comedy tour, Steve.
I can't wait.
Thank you for paying attention.
No, he's
So, no,
harassing
no,
me
he-
off mic. I'm
It's like,
sorry.
could you stop?
He's bullying me. Me too. Me
So,
too.
We have coming up
Me
on
too.
Friday.
No
Coming up
means
on
no.
Friday, we have Laughter Saves Lives will be in Sarasota on Friday, Florida, and Port St. Lucie on Saturday. Could you tell Donnie to call in from Port St. Lucie? Did you have the phone number?
Donnie's phone number.
Donnie, can you call in?
Donnie, can you call if you're watching? We're going to be working with the benevolent.
516-945-9099.
We're going to be
Do I
working
gotta
with the
text them?
benevolent out there. Sarasota's a private show. We're going to be doing their annual banquet. Me and Daddario are going out. Tom
Ooh.
Daddario.
Ooh.
I was going to give you the phone number.
Tom Daddario is
Yes,
awesome.
Butch, we heard.
So Daddario's going out with me on Friday, Saturday. We're doing 2 shows. May 11th, Lifeback is sponsoring our big show. We're at the Sable Fire Department. We're working with the Heather Pendergast Fund. I've
Excellent
talked about
fund.
Tom before. He lost his child years ago. He had high medical bills. And he decided to help other volunteer Long Island firefighters with high medical bills who have a sick child. And I'm amazed as I go. I was in East Quogue doing a show a few weeks ago. It was very funny. And I asked them, "Are you familiar with the Pendergast Fund?" And they were not. So more of these Long Island volley firehouses really should know about Tom's work. They do good work. We're gonna have fun that night. Who's on that show? Anybody? Any of you guys on that show?
I'm on the show.
Savo?
Are you on the show?
I'm on the show.
I can't
Les
talk about
Deegan's
it
on the
'cause
show.
I
He
don't
told
know
me he
if
was
I'm
on
on
the
it.
show.
Savo? Savo?
Savo.
I believe I'm on that show.
You believe you're on the
Oh,
show?
wow. So
It's
we're
a
on it
buffet
together.
show. We have
no idea.
Anthony Kempfer on.
Oh.
A very funny guy. He plays the guitar, doesn't sing a note.
He's a hipster.
Yeah, he's very good. I did a show with him. He's
He's a
very
hipster
good.
from
Eric
Brooklyn.
Haft.
Nice guy.
Eric
yes.
Haft is on.
Oh, Eric
gonna be
Haft
a
is
good
great.
show.
Yeah, good show.
So did you text
Yes.
Donnie to call in?
You want me to show it on camera? I texted Donnie.
Right.
All right, hopefully
John.
Donnie will call in a second. Let's show the flyer, and then Steve, you'll jump off set, and we'll have
You'll get out.
Lance come over here.
Jump off or get thrown off.
All right,
Which
keep
one
that
is it?
flyer
I
up there.
can't
This is
wait.
the show. Lance, you come
Lance,
on.
I love that updated photo you have.
We welcome Lance.
This is with all the other comics. We have a beautiful flyer, and I forgot to send it to Bobby. So this is the show. Steve. So let Lance sit. You're going over there now.
Oh, I'm jumping off
Yes,
now.
yes.
All right. See,
Um,
it's a seamless operation.
Yeah.
All right, you guys get to see what's going on behind the scenes.
Friday, May 11th, Sayville Fire Department. Be at the show. Oliva's, I think, going to be on that show. Pat's going to be there. We got a few people. We got a buffet show.
Right,
As I
apparently
call it.
I'm not.
Frank, I don't think you're on
No,
that
I did
show.
it last year.
Our,
You did it last year,
our
that's right.
tour manager, Butch, just told us that Barbara Bush died.
Yes,
Passed
we're aware.
away.
Thank you.
Yes,
Butch.
thank you, Butch, for
Good
letting us
lady.
know.
Good lady. So now we have Lance Ulinoff on the set.
Hey,
Hey, Lance.
Be nice if we can
You
see
See
him.
how,
Be
see
nice
how
if we can see
easily
him.
that transitioned?
We can come back to Lance now.
Oh.
If Donnie
Hey.
calls, he's
there I am.
screwed.
We're next to a celebrity here.
you
I'm
guys
gonna
promised
Lance
some
talk
hair.
about his background a little bit. I know Lance Feast. Which one of our kids lined up in school, or was it just that the talent
No,
shows?
Dan and your
Christine,
yeah.
how old? Like 20?
Dan's 23.
23. So our kids were in school together, and we're always saying hello. Dan lives a few blocks away from me. We're always waving. It's different. And then one day I'm watching morning TV, and there's Dan on one of the big morning shows talking about some really interesting gadgets, iPhone it was, or whatever. And I'm like, wow, I didn't realize this guy was that smart.
You're a fireman. You're not
yes.
used to hanging
It's a
out with smart
great
people.
compliment.
So is there now another person in the neighborhood?
And ironically, when he met you, he said, I didn't realize how stupid this guy is.
But it didn't take long. It was one conversation. It was one conversation. So when we got this show, I kept asking him to be on the show, but he's very busy. He's got big time TV shows. He's a very important man. And tonight, I only asked him yesterday, because we were gonna have to do another pinata segment.
Right, you caught him on a down day. Good
So-
thing.
I feel big time. This is a big time. We have a big time guest.
The man
did you get-
Googled all of that
One of the most
stuff.
informative sessions I've been getting
Yes.
for a week.
How did you get started doing what you do on these shows?
I've actually been doing TV little bits and pieces since 1992. All the way back. You know Diana Williams, right?
Yes.
So when she was still like a beat reporter for Channel 7, she came into PC Magazine's office, and I was just like a staff reporter. And they were doing something about Windows 3.1 and something called Wingdings that were
Frank still has
apparently,
that.
they were like anti-Semitic. And so for whatever reason, I ended up being the guy who they put on camera. And there's a video of me with a full head of hair. And so I like doing TV,
I'm telling you, do a great
and-
job.
Thanks. And it's been, as I moved up, because I'm a journalist, as I moved up in, the magazine world, and I moved up in the online world, and I was editor-in-chief of PC Mag, and I was editor-in-chief of Mashable, then I was getting more asks for bigger shows.
Right.
What happened to you now? You're getting last to laugh to save
Right,
lives.
now you're in
Well,
left.
I actually,
It's like
it was,
it's like being a comic playing the East Quogue Firehouse.
It was basically my plan to end up here.
Yes.
I was sort of working my way through. It was like I had Good Morning America, I had Today's Show, I had Live with Kelly, Laughter Saves, Live.
Change
Yeah.
that resume, buddy.
Right at
Get
the
it
top.
on there.
So I'm actually gonna put that up. I'm gonna put that on
Your
first.
career is
That is so
wonderfully
funny.
skidding down.
Yeah. Believe me, you have no idea.
You are spiraling out of
But we're
control
glad
like the
you
rest
ended
of
up here with us.
So now I've watched you in a number of
Right,
shows.
right.
What is the one device that you spoke about years ago, whatever, that just tanked? Like it looked like it was going to be the thing.
Cop rock.
Can you think about one?
Oh gosh. Well, I've had stuff not work.
Right.
You know, I remember a vacuum cleaner. It was a window cleaner that just did not work on live TV. That happens all the time. Things don't
Yeah.
work on live
That's
TV.
gotta be frustrating.
I mean, you just keep going. You know?
Right.
You're just like, well, that doesn't. I mean,
doesn't
I was
work.
on Good Day in New York, and 4 things didn't work. It was just like nothing was working, and I was
That's
just
why
kind
you're
of,
here.
and I
Was
was
it
just kind
window
of quickly
cleaner?
My
going.
question is, did anyone plug this stuff in to make sure?
Lance, it was a window cleaner,
It's
like
always-
a car window cleaner?
No, that was a robot window cleaner, and it was the problem is they couldn't set up a window on the set, so they had like a whiteboard, and it didn't like the whiteboard, and they just kind of jammed there.
racist.
And the producer's like, "Well, that's nice, keep going." So yeah, I mean, there's been all sorts of things that have kind of tanked. I remember there was like a really bad tablet one time, you know, where everybody was very excited about it, but a lot of times things are really, you know, big.
inventing all these things?
No. I write about them.
You
I'm a
research
journalist.
them.
I write reviews. Everything you see here on this table, I've written probably a review about it. We have a HomePod from Apple. We have the iPhone 7, which is mine, from Apple. New iPad from Apple. This is an Owl security cam I just wrote about. It's actually been I pulled it right out of my car for this thing.
Okay.
Can you guys guess what this is?
Uh-oh. No.
Oh, I have a few ideas.
Butt plug?
Wait a
Hold
minute.
on. Hold on.
Lance,
Let's
it's
go.
not that kind
Now,
of
this
show,
could
my
be-
friend.
Wait, hold on.
We have a lady present.
1 second.
That's Frank's.
Steve, what is that?
That's what they just pulled out of Frank's heart after his heart attack last year.
Frank, what is that?
Angioplasty.
I'll turn it this
I'm
way.
letting it go.
You-
But I'll
you
say
wanna
it looks
take a
like
shot?
something my
Butt
wife
plug.
has in her drawer.
Butt plug. We would all look at that and go,
could
we'd
be a
like
baby
to
like
say
that.
it's a butt plug, but we're not going to say it.
Right.
Frank,
Even I let it go.
Pat goes, a butt plug.
So
Well,
it's
it-
actually
Notice he's smiling when he says it.
It's actually called boiling beeper, and it goes in a pot of water. And you turn it on, you set the water to boil, walk out of the room. This will beep when the water boils. So you don't have to sit there and watch the water boil.
Or you could just listen for it
It's
all
like-
overflowing
very,
from the
very
spot.
popular with
Well,
meth
so-
addicts in the South, I'm sure.
It's almost like the old-time teapot when the thing whistles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Except
And
this is
did
a
that take off?
Is
Is it doing? Is it?
I don't know. I did a little video with
Now,
it.
can
you
you
know.
invent one that
But you
to
couldn't
pour,
get the water to
actual
boil.
pour the water for you?
No.
What does it cost?
$19.99. So it's
How
really
loud
cheap.
is it? Nice.
Do you have
I was in the other room and I heard it.
That's the
I was
idea,
like,
yes.
I'm like, okay, you know, I
Now,
was a
now
little
you
nervous.
invented that?
I mean, do you live in
I
a
invent
5,000 square
nothing.
foot house, or
I
are you living in a
invent, I
1,200
write.
foot
Can it
cave?
play a song like Inagata Davida? Or
No, it's not programmable. So it's a
Oh, what's this
that. So that's Apple's HomePod. All right. So that's $349. That came out like 4 or 5 months ago. It is a big speaker, very powerful speaker, but it's a smart speaker. So it's got Siri built in,
Right.
which means I can talk to it. I have it at home plugged in, and I have it connected to a couple of lights that has like a smart switch connected to it. And I say, hey Siri, turn on the lights. Both the lights go on.
Right.
Or I say, hey Siri, turn off the lights. They
Okay,
go
wow.
off.
Right.
You also, if you have an Apple Music subscription, which they really recommend you get, and that's like depending on that can be like $9.99 a month. You have access to the like a tremendous amount of music, and you can use Siri to play the music you want. So you can say, Siri, play party music, or Siri, play something that sounds like David Bowie, or and it will do all that.
Radio?
So,
Does it play
it
radio?
has there's radio within Apple Music, and of course there's so it also you can connect your phone. You have iHeartRadio. You have different apps.
Apple
tell you
TV.
when the
Lance.
water's
Is
boiling?
that something like Apple TV? Like,
Well,
Lance.
it's not connected to Apple TV, and you don't play Apple TV through it, but you can play. You can have your calls go through it. You can use it that way. It is one of the best sounding speakers I've ever heard, but it is inordinately expensive compared to, say, the Amazon Echo, which you can get for like $99. Even though the sound isn't as good,
Is that the little
it's
flat
a
one?
great. There's a bunch. There's the
Echo
Dot.
Dot?
There's
Oh.
the Echo. There's different. There's actually the Echo Plus. And those from Amazon are all cheaper than this. Even though none of them sound as good, people don't care because they're really smart. They connect to their Nest devices and all their smart home stuff. I have one, and I'm able to basically.
My house isn't a smart house.
Yeah, you
Stop.
know, you
Don't even
have-
go there. That was
Lance,
too
you-
easy.
The
You
fact that
just
you're the,
opening
you're
the door.
editor of PC Mag,
Yeah.
you are. That just tells us this is a very smart man right now. You're looking at a group of guys that probably the best we did is use like Highlights magazine and the dentist
Right.
office. I mean,
And
you're
watch
talking.
water
This
boil.
is
Goofus and Gallant.
I like looking at the pictures in PC Mag, but I know it's very technical writing, essentially
Yeah.
a lot of it, and
That's very-
impressed. John, these are the guys who these are the guys who kids go to
Same school as mine.
Same schools?
That's what I believe, right?
No, your kids are very smart.
His
Father,
kids,
My
father,
only-
his
not so
kids are the
much.
ones that beat up my kids.
Right.
That's-
No,
that's very close. Well,
my
listen.
kids.
I went to What's the Matter You on Mott Street. Yeah.
Pat's gonna ask him if he invented anything. For the
But I
third
did
comment.
right. I mean, basically, I've reviewed. If you know about, I mean, I have a lot of Apple stuff because Apple tends to introduce some of the hottest or sexiest products. I mean, like the iPad, this new iPad. The reason that I just looked at it, it's their cheapest iPad ever. So schools, all of you guys have maybe kids in school, and they probably use Chromebooks or Google Docs. Apple wants to squeeze back in and say, come on, use Apple devices and use Apple's cloud. So having a $299 iPad that happens to work for the first time with the Pencil, this is the Apple Pencil. So this is $89, $299 for schools. So that's cheaper, and they've got new school curriculum. So it's a really powerful and good tablet, very versatile. They can stick it into something called the Logitech rugged keyboard case for $99. So that attaches a keyboard and also makes it so if the kids drop it, it doesn't.
I love.
I'm just laughing because
No,
John had a tablet and he was using a Sharpie on it.
He
Yeah,
said,
Lance,
he said,
my kids, they were drawing on cave walls with sticks.
Right.
You know,
he
this
said
is-
you could
this
use it
is
on the
way advanced.
Logitech, and all of us went.
Yeah. I'm like, how about Atari? Can you use it on that? Lance?
You know, John's only
Lance-
used to use an Etch-a-Sketch.
But that is relatively cheaper than
That well, so
That-
so
that- it
for,
is relative.
if you are not in school, you can get this for $329. That is still the cheapest iPad that you can get right now, and it's actually a great deal for what I still consider the best tablet on the market.
Would this be just for elementary and high schools, or is this for college students?
College students are most likely going to get a laptop.
Because
of
many,
some
a
sort.
lot of the
They're gonna need
colleges,
that.
a lot of them, some of them that we've checked out, built into the tuition is a tablet or a computer.
Most of them are going to want, I think, once you get into college, because what happens is you'll notice that students, they'll use their home computer or something like that in Google Docs and do all their schoolwork like that, right? And they may not even have their own computer. Maybe they'll have a tablet for games. Once they get into college, and this happened with my daughter, as soon as she left high school, she got a laptop.
Right.
And that's what she uses. I bought her a nice HP. So that's kind of what happens, because there is going to be a limit on tablets, although it's starting to be not there anymore, but there's still a limit to the versatility or how easy it is to do certain productivity things. If you absolutely want a tablet and you want an Apple tablet, you want to go to college, you get an iPad Pro 10.5 inch, which actually works with the smart keyboard in addition to the pencil. It's more expensive, starts at like $649, but that's going to have even more power, and with the keyboard, it's going to have integrated keyboard, enough versatility. By the way, just because I know we have like law enforcement or former law enforcement here, I thought you'd be interested in the OWL cam, because this is actually a security camera for your car. You know, everybody drives around in Russia with dash cams and they see meteors
Yes.
going through the sky,
Yes.
which we never do.
road rage in Russia also, I know.
Yeah, exactly. They get
No
catch,
road rage?
No, there's a lot. It's always on video.
they catch the craziest stuff on
Yes.
their dash cams. It's not as much of a trend in the U.S., but it's starting to be. So OWL, this company OWL, and the guy who was part of this company used to work for Apple and all those companies. He created this, and basically I installed it in my car. It slides in very easily. It's got a cable that runs to the OBM port in the car. You know what that is?
No.
It's
So like-
your
it's the
it's
light-
your diagnostic. No, it's your diagnostic port on your car. Every car since 1995 has them.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was the
The
light.
lighter.
No, nothing plugs into the
Your
lighter
OBM
anymore.
port, that's a lighter.
So-
It looks like a USB port.
No,
kind
it
of?
doesn't.
Oh, for
It's
two.
actually got. It's
I'm
like
trying.
it's wide and it's under your dash. You won't be able
Oh,
to
it's
see
under
it.
the- okay.
It's under your dash. But you
Diagnostic.
find it. OBM.
I have a car.
In any
He has a nice
case,
car. He has
in
a
any
nice car.
case, it has
does.
two cameras. It's a
And where do you
camera
put
that
it?
faces. So it sits like
He
here
faces
when
it
I'm
towards your
driving.
house.
So it has camera that faces into
Right.
to the cabin, which is 720p, and then which is the resolution, and then the outside is 1440p for what goes on in front of your car.
Why are you videotaping? You talking to people?
You can, if you want, you can actually
I'd love
talk
to
to
get
this.
that.
I can say, "Hey Presto," and I can I can give a label and tell it that I want to save a particular recording. So if you do like live blogging while you're driving. But I found it's a little hard to like figure out when it is and isn't recording. In any case, if the car gets bumped, One, if you get into an accident, you have a record and you can sort of go back and look at who was maybe at fault. But also, if your car's been broken into, what'll happen is the motion detector goes off, the lights inside go on, starts recording immediately. You can even use the mic. You can speak to people and say, "Get the hell out of my car." So that's pretty cool. It's
Lance,
$2.99.
You can't
car
get
thieves,
away
you
with
mean?
nothing anymore.
Say that again.
Well, what if the guy
thieves,
just steals the
Yeah,
camera?
exactly. If you, it's
It'll
also
put you guys like you out of work.
It's
No, no.
geofenced.
The guy
and-
breaks in the car. He's just going to steal the camera.
All right, so Lance, that's $2.99.
But it's connected to
It's on an
your
iCloud.
smartphone. So even if they steal the camera, you still
Still
get
have
the
recording.
video.
Right.
And it's connected to your Wi-Fi in your house. And if you pay a little extra, it can be connected to LTE, so it's always
Can
connected.
you connect it to Facebook Live? So if somebody breaks in,
Right
goes
now,
on Facebook.
Right now, no.
We can
No.
publicly shame people on Facebook.
By the way,
$349.
$349.
$349. So.
That don't seem too expensive.
Well,
Well,
I
to a
mean,
guy
for a
like
smart
you.
speaker, if you're looking at the competitive space, it's way more expensive. But for a really good speaker, if you're an audiophile, it's one of the best. And also, by the way,
There's
this
a lot
is
of
touch
audio
control.
files out in Suffolk County, like 64.
No,
That's where I was going.
Hey guys, hold on just 1 second, Lance.
Sorry,
Hold
but
on 1
thank you
second.
for
Is Donnie on the phone listening to us, or is he on hold?
I'm here. I'm here. John.
There,
Johnny.
Lance, do you mind holding on for 1 second?
Sure.
Okay, Donnie.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry we didn't get you at 8:10 before our guest came on. I just wanted to talk to you about the show next week on Saturday in Port St. Lucie. Tell us a little bit about what we're the charity that we're working with here.
Well, I mean, as most of you guys probably know, Port St. Lucie is the mecca for everyone from New York to come down and retire to. So you have quite the following down here, and they've been calling me nonstop all day today. What we're doing is helping your foundation out as well as you're helping our benevolent, which, as everyone knows, the benevolent's here to help the firefighters and the families of firefighters. And we've unfortunately had recent firefighters with some damaging illnesses and family members that lost some children. So we're able to help them out and keep them going and keep them at work so they can protect our community and not have to worry about feeding their families at night and paying their bills. And you are definitely helping us continue with that.
Donnie,
So we appreciate that from your foundation.
yeah, it has been a great relationship with you. This is the third show we're doing in Port St. Lucie. I can't thank you enough for the support you've given Laughter Saves Lives over the last few years. We love coming down there. Santo came down with me the first year. We had a ball. We went to spring training. I brought J.J. Boyd down there the first time.
I couldn't.
And we had a ball. And the comics love it. You treat us very well. And I hear we're staying in your house this time.
Yeah, actually, I have a camper in my backyard, and it sleeps 8, so
So
I
in the
got plenty of
driveway.
room for you.
Yeah, John, we'll put you in the driveway.
It's a good party, poolside camp spot.
Wherever we got to stay, buddy. Now, you're telling me that ticket sales are coming in a little better now because we were a little slow.
So, we're doing good. Yeah, I think you got a pretty good following here. Lots of retired New York firefighters here, and they're looking forward to seeing you. They've been calling me all day asking questions.
They must
what
be
should
old.
they wear? Because they're concerned about getting too dressed up.
What should they wear, Donnie?
Right, they're firemen.
Yeah,
They're retired.
Tell them relax.
That's what I told.
They
I
can
told
relax.
them they didn't want to underdress for the occasion. I told them tuxedos were optional.
A fireman tuxedo with blue jeans and a blue T-shirt. They can just
Cops
wear
and
that.
firemen
Yeah,
can never
that's what-
underdress
yeah.
enough.
That's what
Donnie,
we're planning.
You
We
the man,
were
Donnie.
figuring they probably have their station, their job shirt on, and a pair of jeans and black shoes.
Perfect.
So as long as they're bringing their wallet. Donnie, how long have you
Yeah,
been on the
that's
job, and what kind of training do you have? Are you a paramedic?
I've actually been with the St. Louis County Fire District for 18 years. I'm an EMT. I hold the rank of lieutenant, and I work on the busiest engine in our county. 2 shifts ago, we ran 41 calls out of our firehouse.
That's a big. That's
and
a
we
busy
we
shift.
have a good time, but we also see probably the worst of the worst. And the way you handle things, and that's why I stay involved with you, is I appreciate how your approach, because we need to laugh, and if we don't laugh, bad things can happen. And laughter definitely brings people back around. And if I have 2 seconds, I would like to mention how we met when I was in St. Lucie West at Station 14, right by the Met Stadium. I was a driver engineer there, chauffeur as you guys call it, because engineers drive trains, as I was told. And you walked in one day not even knowing anything. I just happened to be on shift, and I was the guy that coordinated these events. And we met, and since that date, we've been working together, and that was almost 4 years ago now. And we do appreciate your approach to this, and it's a different approach, but I think what you're doing is working, and it's something we need to look into more for not just people who we've lost, but people who we still have on the job that we possibly could lose to this epidemic now.
Yes. Well, the first time I met you and I spoke to you, I said, I definitely want to work with this guy because you got what I was trying to do. Because there's been a few firehouses that I walked into and I kind of walked out feeling pretty stupid because they're like, oh,
He's used to that.
and I feel that way when I go home too. But we're looking forward to it. Hopefully we can get some of these other guys down there the next time we do a show because I know they'd love to come down.
Love it.
And
During spring training.
we'd love to see the retired brothers too down there.
That'd be great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I missed them.
Yeah, it's always a good time. It's a good time of year too. The weather's great. It's not too rainy, so and you get away from the snow.
Yeah. Yeah, we make it more than that. Who knows? All right, so Donnie, I'm sorry we're cutting you a little short, but I really appreciate
problem,
you calling in.
Yeah,
And we'll see you
good time
on
listening to you guys.
Saturday.
You can call me when you get in. We'll have a good time.
You got it, Donnie. Thank you so much.
All right,
safe,
Donnie.
brother.
All right,
All right,
Donnie.
guys.
Good guy.
All right, take care. Thanks.
All right,
See you
take care,
guys.
Donnie. Good guy.
Nice.
So we're getting back to Lance for
Yeah.
a minute here. Hey, is there anything else that you wanted to add that you brought tonight?
I didn't bring anything else. I don't know if you guys had any questions about Facebook. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
let's
all
touch on that.
It's all people talk about.
Yeah,
right
let's
now,
touch on that for
what
5 minutes, and then we'll bring up the
All that
lovely.
spam. If
the
you
yeah.
on November, they're going to start charging Facebook.
No,
Yeah,
they're
so
never
what's the
going
deal
to
with
get
Facebook?
Frank, let him check.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
I mean, there's definitely. The big problem with Facebook is that people share stuff without thinking about it, without reading it. But obviously, there were bigger problems, and this was, we all watched Mark Zuckerberg, who's the CEO and founder of Facebook, sit in front of Congress
Right.
for 2 days and apologize nonstop and talk about how they're going to change things. And basically, they kind of lost control of our data. Now, I try and explain to people it's not the same as a breach. So, like, if Target, for example, or Equifax, they were hacked, right? They had their data, they had credit card information, email, social security. They were literally hacked, and Sony hacked and stuff taken. That's not what happened with Facebook. Facebook, it's data that we're all just kind of giving freely. And we even signed up and said, yeah, you can share it this way. Like, no one really reads any of these agreements. But the people who shared the data, the guy who created this survey on Facebook that shared the data to Cambridge Analytica, well, he actually broke the rules. And Facebook then changed lockdown after they realized what had happened. This is like 4 years ago. But the damage was kind of done, and people didn't really learn about it, and Facebook didn't realize that they hadn't actually gotten rid of the data until it was way too late. So a lot of people lost trust in Facebook.
So what should we do now?
So here's what we should do. So first of all, if you've gone into Facebook settings, you might notice they look very different now. They just did a huge cleanup, and everybody should spend a little time, go into your Facebook settings and look at what you're sharing and lock it down. Start to pull back a little bit. You're a public personality, so you may share more freely, but there are a lot of people who know you are watching who are not. And so they want to tighten the circle to just their friends. And
Right.
they also want to tighten the circle on the third-party apps, which is where a lot of this happened. And you'll notice that Facebook is actually, they got rid of a lot of third-party apps. They've made it so third-party apps can't even share the data the way they used to. But again, still, you can go in there and say, get rid of that. I don't want that app. I don't want that
What
app.
as somebody who really doesn't know much, what is a third-party app? What would a third-party app be?
Candy Crush would be a good one. How many times have you been told that somebody wants you to play Candy Crush? What a pain in
Steve's
the neck.
constantly
I was told that in third grade by a
I
stranger.
hate those people.
And I didn't like it at
hate
all.
those people.
Well, Lance,
Must be
I'm
those
not on
audio files
Facebook.
and stuff.
I'm not on Facebook.
He's a stalker on
He's a
Facebook.
stalker.
He's
No,
on
no, no, no.
Facebook. He's a
First
different
of all,
guy.
hold
is
on,
Candy
hold
Crush.
on. First of
Yeah.
all, Target was hacked, so now the world's going to know where I
That
got
was
this
a-
shirt,
that
and
was
that's
a while-
upsetting
that
to me,
was a
number
while
one.
ago, yeah.
Number two, I'm not on Facebook. Because,
Yes, you are.
Right.
listen, why do I don't
You
wanna
said
look
it 3 times, so we know you're still not on Facebook, which means you're on Facebook.
No.
What do you?
I don't want to look at 10 pictures of my ex-girlfriend and her husband sitting on the couch, pal.
And her husband.
Poor guy. Oh, poor
Because
you.
I'm perfectly happy peering through the window at them. All right?
You should be on there for Laughter Saves Lives. You
No,
should be a team.
I have enough friends. I have many friends. All right.
You have
wanna
one,
call
he's
me on
out
the
there,
phone. That's
and
all
one
right,
here,
and I
too.
brought him here.
All right, so
Call me on the phone.
Lance,
They're
we
not
can-
getting my third-party information, whatever that is.
Well,
They're
those
not getting
apps,
it.
bring it back to those third-party things. Sometimes people send you something like you did, and you go on it, and they ask you, do you want to allow? And then I don't go on it.
how about this?
I don't go on it. I just say, you know what? I don't want to go on there.
How about this, Patty?
Let him talk because he's the expert.
How about this?
I am.
How about
But I
this?
was explaining my point.
Yeah, we're gonna get Lance off in 2 minutes because I want to bring Laura. So bear with me. Laura on.
Laura.
How about this? See what happened to the Dynasty stars, right? See what they look like now.
Don't.
Is that one of those things?
Well, that's not an app. That's just a story,
But if that's
an
something-
annoying garbage story. There are tons of,
kinda like 'em, Lance.
garbage stories. Well, the thing is, a lot of those stories send you off to websites, and if you notice, the website makes you click through like a screen and a screen and a screen.
Yes.
Every single page dumps crap on your computer.
All right.
Every single page.
All right.
There are things called cookies. There are things called beacons.
Pat knows what
There
they
are
are.
all this garbage that, and you're like, when people say, I don't understand, I was having a conversation about getting
right.
the kid diapers, and then suddenly I had emails, and I
Right,
was just
right,
talking
right.
about it. No, you weren't just talking about it. I guarantee you were doing something
Well,
digitally,
that's
too.
what I wanted to get onto, and I know you gotta go.
Yeah,
Another
Moni.
thing is that when you look up some, like I was on MLB shop, and I'm looking at Met shirts, or I'm on New Balance
Right.
and looking at something. The next minute I go on Facebook,
Yeah.
there's all ads for Met jerseys,
Right.
New Balance
Facebook
sneakers.
has for a long time has had the ability to track what you're doing outside of Facebook. And it does that, and it even tracks some of the people who you know outside of Facebook. But they're not the only ones doing this. Any website that you go to can have a network that can track you around. So that's why, suddenly you'll be looking, so you look on Instagram, there's an ad for something that the shoes you were just looking at on Kmart or
Yes.
whatever, So each,
Very
I
good.
said
All
Kmart
right, so
for you.
real
Good
quick,
points.
Lance,
Good points.
We can go into
You know my
Facebook.
stuff.
We go into Facebook settings and check or uncheck whatever.
Yeah,
who
and
we
you can
want
get
to see
very
and not see.
granular. You can actually do that with every single post too. You can control who sees what with every post. So
Right.
Okay.
we can't put all of the weight on Facebook's shoulders and say they have to do everything. People
We gotta
use
be-
this stuff. People have to be responsible.
be responsible.
That
and
goes
start
with
figuring it
that
out.
type
Let me-
of
let me-
responsibility
Put
goes
it on
with
our
every
business.
app
We
you're
wanna
on.
share
Yes.
everything.
Let
Right.
me. I'm gonna cut Lance off here because I want to get Laura on.
Please.
I know you're a busy man, but maybe 6 months from now, we'd love to have you back on.
Yeah.
You were one of our favorite guests, almost
Yes.
as good as John Consoli. It's a running inside joke.
I don't know if he's our
Inside
favorite guest.
joke.
We had some
Website
other good guests on
for
here
you
too.
know?
Oh yeah, have any kind of anything you want people
They can find me on Twitter, Lance Ulanoff.
Gonna follow you, Lance.
Yeah, so
And I'll
follow
give out-
me there because that's where I put
Yeah,
all my stuff.
all
Very
four
good.
viewers will follow you.
It's ULANOFF. Very phonetic.
Yeah, and I'll give out your address.
My home address?
Yes, your home
Great.
address.
All right, so everybody come over for
That was a
coffee.
pleasure. Pleasure having you.
No, no, no.
Good
Excellent.
Good job, Lance.
Let's go to Life Back commercial and we'll bring Laura on. That
When
was
someone
awesome.
is choking, brain damage can occur after just 4 minutes. Did you know every 5 days a child dies because of a choking accident?
My name is Art Lee. I invented LifeVac to protect my family. LifeVac is an easy-to-use suction device with a special one-way valve to help save a choking victim.
I care for my dad who's prone to choking. Having LifeVac in my home gives me peace of mind.
Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Daddy.
Call 1-877-LifeVac or visit lifevac.net.
We are back live. Laughter Saves Lives live. Lance was awesome. We have Laura on Bisbee.
Bisbee, yes.
I love that last name. Bisbee. Laura is representing LifeVac tonight. We were going to have on the owner. What do we call him? The owner and CEO?
He is the owner and inventor.
The
Owner
founder,
and
inventor, and
Oh,
CEO.
so you could ask him now. You could ask him. He invented something. You asked him 4 times if he invented
No, I only
anything.
asked him 2 times.
All right.
And then somebody else asked him once.
So
You're
Laura
not
is
too
here
sharp either.
because Arthur
Arthur Lee.
is coaching a championship volleyball game tonight. So he sent the lovely Laura Bisbee here, and Laura is
you.
going to talk to us a little bit about her experience, her relationship with LifeVac. What's the latest news with LifeVac? We've been advertising.
say.
We've been advertising LifeVac for a while. We had a show where we spoke about it a little bit.
Yes.
Where we spoke about it. So tell us, how did you get involved with this wonderful device?
Okay, well, Arthur is a good friend of mine for about 30 years. And I think the whole team actually around LifeVac that came on board to support Arthur. It started from when he was. Let me tell you how he came to invent this. He was visiting a friend's mom in the hospital, and while he was there, a young child was brought in, 8 years old, same age as his daughter at the time, and the child was choking on a grape, and the child died.
Oh my God.
And that really touched Artie in a bad way, in
Sure.
a deep way, because he had a child the same age, and he thought it's such a senseless way to die, and it is. So he set out very ambitiously to create something that could prevent choking. So he studied a lot of things. He met with his whole group of friends. Actually, there's a lot of moving parts there. His posse is really strong. He spent a lot of time in his garage and going shopping. And as you can see, looks a lot like a sink plunger.
It does.
And the real secret in this invention, the wonderful part, is this disc right here, which allows. This is the patented, and it's the only patented anti-choking device in the country. And he just got it officially. It was patent pending. Now it's patented. It allows the air it allows you not to push the obstruction further in. The air escapes the side, so it
Comes
gets
out
a good
the vent,
grip,
so to speak,
comes out
around
the
here.
vent on the side, and then you get a good suction, and we can pop out whatever's there. We've been tested, published, tested, and it works.
Tell us about a few of the cases that it's been used on. The type of people that this can be used on. It can be used on anybody, right? But in general, its specialty is more of people who can't get the Heimlich.
That's true. So, and what we're trying to do is we're not trying to change protocol yet.
Right.
What we're saying is please do whatever you can, whatever protocol, because that takes a lot of years to do. But Artie, of course, is very ambitious, and he will change protocol eventually. But there's a lot of individuals that the Heimlich doesn't work on. If you're pregnant, if you're in a wheelchair, if you're obese, a lot of these people that the Heimlich's not going to work on, and a lot of neurological conditions that people have, that they suffer from dysphagia, which is that the muscles don't work, they can't swallow properly. So they're choking all the time. In fact, we have a great amount of people that bought this product just for peace of mind, so they can go to dinner with their mom or their dad or somebody that chokes a lot, and just having it, they're a little more liberal on what they could eat. So of all right now, the statistics are about over 5,000 deaths a year from choking, but many more people are brought into the hospital from choking, and you only have a few minutes before brain damage can occur. So what we're saying is, if you can Heimlich somebody, if you could do the backs, do it. But you don't have a lot of time. If this is handy and that doesn't work, don't die.
How about
don't
you
let
and
the
the senior?
Well, that's what I was going to get into after she was told.
Has anybody ever choked?
We had a woman one time. She went to the restaurant next door, not because I'm a chef and saying the restaurant, but she choked on a steak, and we had to go over there, and they had to do the Heimlich. But I'm thinking of, like you said, we have people with dysphagia, but we have to puree their food so they're not choked. We did have people that have the dysphagia, and they did choke in the dining room, and we had to do the Heimlich on there too. It's very scary, but in assisted living, it would be great to have it in there, but with state license, I don't know, like I was talking to you off camera, if there aren't any, and you said there are, you got to
my niece is an occupational therapist right in Woodbury, and I told her, I said, you know what, you should see if they need this, we should get a couple of them for that, and she said, oh no, we already have them.
I would like to see that. Now to use these, they're all individually packaged, so you would have like a couple on, like with your wellness department or in whatever department.
Right, you would
and
want
you have to rip it off, and then
Well, you'd want to keep it. I just opened up the EMT version of it because they don't need to have the test mask or anything. But for a home kit, you have a test mask as well with the instructions, so you get familiar with it and what it's supposed to feel like.
Right.
And practice using it. In your house, you need one wherever if you have one. Okay, I'm sorry.
Finish your sentence.
Now, if you want one in your house, you're good. For us, we have it in the boat, in the car, in the house, and my mom.
But what I'm saying, if you had it in a facility, after you use it once, do you throw it out, or you wash it, or sterilize it, or any way to sterilize it, or?
It's well, first of all, the face masks are easy enough to get, and you can always reorder those.
Okay.
As it's approved through the FDA, it's approved as a single-use suction apparatus.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Right. So. Hopefully, use it once. It saved a life. It did its job. It's well worth
So
getting another one.
you're putting this over the face. This is creating a suction to draw the object out of the throat.
Correct.
Is that how it's working?
Yeah, Patty, the people on the camera can't really hear you, but put your face over here. We'll try it out on you.
We can do that.
No, don't do it. Don't.
No, we can't. We'll take
It could
we'll
could
take a
injure
suck.
somebody.
No, you can't.
Can you suck the funny back into that line, Patrick?
It could injure somebody, but the whole idea is, well, you have no choice. Somebody's choking. So when you push it, the air is getting forced out right now. It's not going into the
That's
person's
right.
throat.
You're just creating.
It's getting now that vent will lock, and as you pull out, it's going to lock onto their face, and
it's going to
pull it out.
So okay, so you creating
the
put it up
vacuum
against the face, and then when you pull it back,
is when
that's
you're taking.
That's the only time, right?
I just wanted to
Pat,
get
didn't you
how
ever
it works.
clog a toilet before? Like,
Yeah, but with a plunger, it's
Same idea, but
But
you're not
it's
pushing.
suction.
But you're not right.
Right,
but
but
you're
the-
not pushing the
You're not
object.
pushing
on.
it.
Right,
The other
right,
Pat,
right.
that's Patty G here.
it's suction.
I mean, when you clog a toilet,
I always pick on
sometimes
the
you stick your
Norwegian
hand in
guy.
there too.
No, but you're creating suction
Correct.
to pull.
Correct. That's
an
exactly
object
what you're
out.
doing.
That's
You need to
essentially-
explain to our viewers
Absolutely.
how this absolutely works.
Fire
Well,
departments.
so let's just say you guys probably had to do this in your time, Heimlich, or cut something out of somebody's throat or something. I'm
No,
sure.
no. This
No,
is
we
a
didn't
predator.
cut.
I've never. No one.
I've watched
Fire
it. I've
departments.
seen
Are you
people do
familiar
it.
with the fire
Paramedics.
departments that are
Paramedics.
using this right now? Aren't there some fire
Yes,
departments?
there are. We have a whole bunch of them
Can you
throughout
name
the
a few?
country. Oh, Jericho, Roslyn, Sarasota.
Sarasota. Oh, really?
Yeah, and we've got we're in a bunch of police departments, and any minute now, we expect an order from Nassau County Police Department. I did a presentation there.
Sounds like
I had to go through the proper channels for them to bid it out. But
And
we're
what
sure
are
it's
these retail for if a person wants to
$69.95.
$69.95.
And a life.
Good
Well,
gift.
well,
Great
worth it.
gift.
Well, worth it.
Just so you know, since 2017, I think it was early 2017 to date, we have officially documented 11 saved lives.
Very good.
So that's
awesome.
that we know of, that are reported, that
right.
are validated,
Exactly.
and and a few of them were in nursing homes.
And people can
Well-
reorder the mask through the website, obviously.
Sure, and you can
kind of
reorder
thing.
the mask, and I mean they're meant to last a real long
Well,
time,
you
but
said
definitely
it's a single use, so you would need
this is a single use.
Oh, that? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
You know, it's beautiful.
Nursing
You know, it's
homes
great. It's so
especially, too.
portable. It's so portable.
It
It's
is,
not
so-
a huge. That's an adult, right? Obviously.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then we have smaller masks for children. It's originally when it was approved, it was they recommended it for over 40 pounds and over, so that
How many pounds?
40.
Okay.
So that eliminates some young children, which
say
we kind
anything.
of invented it for. But now they've recently lowered that standard. So now I think it's 27 pounds or 23 pounds. I better check on that.
Well, it was a great idea that he had here, and I'm hoping that more people get him in the home. I have one now.
I have one.
Yeah, I think it's like I said, I've choked before. I mean, I was able to get someone to knock it out of me, but it's a scary feeling.
It is.
You're
It really
completely
is.
blocked. You can't talk. If you live alone, up until a few years ago, I lived alone. So
Yeah.
that's scary. You live alone. What a terrible way to go out. You can't, you can't
I've
get.
woken out of a sleep and choked, but not for food, and it's scary as hell because you got.
Yeah.
No, all kidding
Because you
aside.
can't even
That's the
get
worst.
air
You get-
in. You can't
and
even
that is
get
the
air
worst. And I
in.
was like,
When you
I
can't
was
breathe.
gasping. I thought I was dying, so I couldn't imagine choking with the food. It's got to be these are.
No, it's a great
okay.
object. He did
Now,
a good job. I'm
You
sorry.
can do that to yourself if you are alone. You can. You
Absolutely.
don't need another person.
You don't even have to be choking if you just want to play with it.
I'm talking about
just sit at home and-
You know what? No more
You know.
pinata stories if this is.
No, the pinata story. Watch our show last week. He did a wonderful segment on pinatas.
On the
If you're having
religious
a-
significance.
Yeah,
of
if you're having a
it.
hard time
I wouldn't
sleeping,
waste my time
sleeping
on
tonight.
Let's just put it like this: if he did that show again and I was choking, don't use that on me.
Steve, we wouldn't.
Applause break, Steve.
I love you, Pat.
Well,
I
Laura,
love
we
you.
really appreciate you coming down.
And I appreciate you guys. And I
I
appreciate
know you
what
sat
you
here
do.
for a while with our first guest.
That's
Thank you for
okay.
being
What
our
was with that?
sponsor.
He's
Thank you.
super
Thank you for
smart.
He is.
That's right. Don't
I was
forget they
hoping
are
you
our
don't ask me
sponsor.
any
One more
smart
time, the
questions.
websites in case people didn't get
It's www.lifevac.net. Lifevac.net.
VAC.net.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank
Now,
you.
if you want to
Realize
sit in
nobody
for our
can
next
hear you.
guest, we're going to have another segment now.
They can hear.
Now, just forget about our first guest because this isn't going to be at that level. It's.
Okay, because he was super smart. I was way down here.
No, you're.
Are you Mike?
you're
He's
above
ready
us.
to go. Look, he's in the bullpen.
I'm so ready to go.
He's in the bullpen. So one more time for Laura Bisbee.
Thank you. Thank
By
you.
the way,
Thank
does
you.
he mean Bisbee?
Thank you so much
Remind
to
me-
meet you guys. You guys are great.
What do you mean, Bisbee?
Don't you remember we did that show in Texas for that fireman named Bisbee?
That was BB. That was
No, it was
BB.
Bisbee.
Yes, BB.
No, my mistake.
Used to.
I'm the one that
Thank
forgot.
you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Wasn't
much.
there a picture of Steve Bisbee?
Yeah,
Busby.
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 My
No, it
first
was BB,
baseball mitt, you're
'cause
right.
I got a picture of
My
it.
first baseball mitt was a Steve Busby mitt.
Yeah, Busby.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Whatever that's worth.
a few weeks ago, let's get the background. It's John
I thought this
Santos.
guy was fired.
He
What's
was
doing in
fired
here?
from the last The Saves
Come
Live show
on.
for advertising.
Now he's going to intern.
For advertising with our guest, who's
I
not
look fat in the shirt.
like we know. He is a paid.
You look fat in all the
He is
shirts.
paid to be on this show. Lots of money. And he was advertising another book.
minute,
We're
I'm
not
not
going to
getting
mention
paid
his
nothing to
name,
be
but it
on this show.
rounds with Lorgan.
You're not?
Lorgan.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Shows. So tonight we told him that he wasn't on, and somehow he's sitting back on the set.
Well, no, he has the right to give his side of the story. Now, this is America. You gotta be
Obviously,
fair.
obviously, he has no
He
life.
has the right to give his side of the story, but on somebody else's show.
Okay.
Did you have a nice time at the Met game though last night? Wasn't that a lot of fun?
I had an awesome time with all y'all.
Why don't you ask me if I had a good time at the
And
Met game last night?
we met Mr. Met. We should put a picture of that up.
It was up.
We put it up already.
Yeah, oh my God! What
They have
a,
done that.
There it is. There it is again.
oh my God! To take a picture with Mr. Met.
And I don't know if you wear this. John Santos, a Met fan.
I'm a big Met fan. I even have Met socks on. You can't see them. But no children were harmed. We didn't have to push anybody out of the
No.
way to get to
And this
Mr.
is
Met.
before Pat got there. We apologize.
That's all right.
We were having some fun walking
It's not
around.
a big deal. I act,
Oh,
like,
but we
I,
have- but
I
we-
act like an adult.
Did you show the family shitter? That Pat was in that pic.
I had the video.
You had the video.
We had the picture.
We had so much coverage for one Met game. It
We
was
did.
amazing.
We had a good time.
We had a lot of
so
fun.
let's not, because I want to make sure you get your whole
This
segment
is
in
yeah.
here.
This is important.
Today there was as you know, an accident, an explosion of an engine going out of LaGuardia. Was in the air.
Yeah.
We're somewhere over, I don't know where the plane
It
was.
was over
when the
Pennsylvania.
engine-
It
when the
was-
engine blew. Now, John, as you know, used to be a pilot, okay? So he gets really into these things, and it's very interesting. So he wanted to give his take on what happened, and is there anything that you can tell people when you give this story
Yes.
to educate them and help them? in
Yep.
some way?
So-
it.
And
so
keep
the-
it interesting.
So the flight was a Southwest flight 737-700 out of LaGuardia to Dallas Love Field. It had 143 passengers, 5 crew, and at 30,000 feet, the left engine, the number 1 engine, exploded, and the shrapnel penetrated the cabin, causing a catastrophic failure of the cabin. There's the engine, and you can see that. You can't see that the fan blades are there. There are fan blades there.
It punctured, but it only broke the window, right, John? Not the
only broke the window,
fuselage.
but
What do you call it?
the window
experts
is
talk about it.
the window is the fuselage, and the window is keeping the pressure. Now, the news reported that the woman was sucked partially out of the plane. That's actually incorrect. You're blown out because the pressure differential is higher inside the aircraft than outside the aircraft. Now, she was probably the fatality because I'm guessing they were at 30,000 feet where the air temperature is minus 70 degrees Celsius, and they were doing 500 miles an hour at 30,000 feet where there's no oxygen. That's 3,000 feet above Everest.
Could she have had a seatbelt on and still gotten
She was unrestrained in the aisle seat, according to the eyewitness reports of people on the plane. And she was now, more than likely, she was instantly killed, and they just didn't report it right away because her neck would have snapped from the air blast. Also, that window isn't that big, so if she was halfway out that window, that means that things had to happen to her. She probably
Right.
broke all of the bones in her ribs and everything.
Maybe got cut on some of the glass. too.
And got cut on the grass. The plane did depressurize, absolutely. You can't have a hole that big
So
and
those
maintain
oxygen masks
pressurization.
come down right away?
All the passengers were on oxygen masks. The pilot nosed the plane over, which is the standard procedure to get the aircraft under 10,000 feet right away because then you can breathe again.
Right.
They were trying to put things over the hole to maintain the pressure of the aircraft. They said that the plane filled with smoke, but it wasn't smoke from a fire. It's the instant condensation of the cabin air going from 70 degrees in shirt sleeves to 70 degrees below zero.
It's essentially clouds.
It's essentially a cloud inside the aircraft. That's exactly what happened.
They
You'll
couldn't
see-
parachute out of there?
No, they couldn't parachute.
Only if you took your underwear
They don't know what caused the engine
This is the
failure.
second time it happened to Southwest.
This is the second time it happened. Now this aircraft,
Could
the
a
seven,
life vac have plugged that up?
a life vac would not have helped. The 737 is the most popular airplane in the airline service, military service, and corporate aircraft service. There's over 10,000 that were delivered. Southwest has over 500 of them. The CFM56 engine is exclusive to the 737. Those engines are very, very, very reliable. This aircraft was delivered in July of 2000, and but what the investigation will focus on is the engine, because the engine isn't like a car engine; it doesn't stay with the aircraft for the life of the of the airframe. You could have engines being changed routinely. When engines go into overhaul, they take them off the airplane and then they put new ones on. So an airline usually has twice as many engines in spare in their maintenance facility than they actually have flying in the fleet. Maybe even more than that.
Who flies a lot? You guys know I fly a lot.
Did you wear your seatbelt even at cruise?
That's what I was just going to say.
That's the crux of the story.
The pilot is going to turn the light off. You can walk around the cabin, but if you're in your seat, put your seatbelt on. So in this case,
leave it on.
It seems like if that woman had a seatbelt on, she may
have
more of a chance of surviving.
More of a chance of surviving. Now you could also hit clear at turbulence and go weightless and float right up to the ceiling and crack your neck. You really should be restrained. You're in an aircraft that's in a hostile environment, doing 500, 600, 700 miles an hour. You really should be restrained the whole time.
John, you know a lot about on the airlines to enforce that, and that'll never be enforced.
Yeah, it's very hard to enforce because the flight attendants would have to look at every passenger, make sure the seatbelt was fastened. Really, you just want to make sure that your frequent flyers are strapped in because those are your best customers. Everyone else is kind of expendable, especially the $200 people and below. But on a serious note, you really should always wear your seatbelt on an aircraft.
But you know a lot about this plane. Did you invent this plane?
Now, did you notice that I rambled all those stats off without even looking at notes? I have no notes.
Well, because
we have no idea if they're accurate or not.
That's true.
If you look up the tail number of the airplane, November 772 SW was delivered July of 2000, I believe July 7th. If you Google that tail number, and everything I just told you will come up, including a map. If you go to planeview.com, you'll see the route of the flight.
Why didn't you just send that to me and you didn't have to come in tonight?
We always go down like 7 or 8 viewers when he comes on. I just want to know.
At this time, there was only one fatality. Another 7 people were injured and taken to the hospital.
They landed okay in that?
They landed okay in Philadelphia, and they were taken to area hospitals. There was a small fuel leak from that engine that was quickly contained. So the aircraft, I think that the pilot, we don't know for sure yet, but I think that the captain was the first female Navy fighter pilot.
There you go.
We don't know that for sure yet. They haven't really released it.
Here we had it from John Lindenberg here.
Good information.
Lindbergh.
Good information.
Lindenberg would be the cheese.
I am definitely going to talk to the board this week. We're going to talk to the board. We're going to try to get you reinstated on Laughter Saves Lives Live.
I'd appreciate that. Since all I was doing was just asking Martha what shows we were on together.
You know, you really got embarrassed. You really got embarrassed tonight. We had 2 educated guests on, and then we brought you in on the end. So.
And you listen. You see what you did tonight? Beautiful information, and then you said you just read it. Why did you say that? Everybody's going, wow. That's it.
No, I researched everything before I came out.
No, but he had the teleprompter.
There's no notes here.
This studio is high tech.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you didn't
John Santo, excellent segment. Don't you think, Steve?
I should have brought my 737 model in.
Oh yeah, that
would have been good.
I was afraid you guys were going to steal it.
Next week you can put it together for us.
Next week, bring the
It
model.
looks like a toy.
Bring a pinata.
No,
I have one.
We'll actually
educational material.
We'll actually hit the pinata.
Ladies and gentlemen, good show tonight. I want to thank Laura Bisbee because I like saying her name.
He pronounced it right.
And because he remembered it.
I want to thank Lance Ulanoff for talking about some of the gadgets.
He tried to steal our mic. He ran out of the studio. I had to go chase him.
The fired John Santo for constantly showing up and doing awesome segments. It's going to be hard to get rid of him.
Right campaign.
Right.
Keep John on the air. We love his stuff. There's the
I'd
camera.
like to thank Pat G for being off camera and not shutting up the whole time.
Right. And directing us.
And Steve Oliva for always his brilliant, funny little comments. There's nobody better than you, Steve.
Steve is so terrific.
We're going to the Master Pick with Dinah. Good night, everybody.
Our other sponsor.
Wear your seatbelt on the airplane.
Let's go Mets. I think
get a life
3-0 right now.
They called up Batista from AA.
They sent down
Robles.
Oh, they didn't call Batista.
They did.
The Mets are losing.
The leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer, the circle the lips, play ball. Play ball.